G'day guys, how's it going? So, I was listening a bit to Mr. Peterson, or Dr. Peterson, anyway. So, and it brought a particular phrase that came into mind, or a term that he said about building character and happiness in times of trauma, travesty, drama and all sorts of other things. Now, particularly relevant, I guess, in Queensland at the moment. There's a lot of fires going on. As usual, some silly people that deliberately set the fires just for shits and giggles. 3,000 people out of their homes just because they thought they'd be rebels. Set their things on fire and see how happy they are, see how funny that is. But this brought into mind, what is more important, happiness or strength of character? Not to say that you have to have one or the other, but the more important thing currently. Oh yeah, clothing check. Back in my corset. I might have to go smaller. Don't know. But anyways, why it's an interesting thing, because some people, when they have tragedies or incidences or issues, they're more focused on, I need to be happy, or I want to be happy. Not to say that you don't deserve or need to be happy, but the other thing is developing strength of character, neuroplasticity, the ability to deal with these things, rather than having to, just focus on being happy. Because I think in my mind it is more that strength of character helps you cope a lot more with anything that comes along, and from that you're able to find happiness, be happy and appreciate what you have, rather than just the constant pursuit of happiness. Because I find a lot of people more interesting that have been through a lot. Like, some people have just had bad luck and things that are just sort of happen to go, oh damn, but they still have the most awesome point of view. And there's other people that, make their own tragedies, and all they're concentrating on is, oh, my happiness, but they actually make their own tragedies, which is quite an interesting thing to observe. So, in terms of strength of character, what does it mean to you to have strength of character? Like, particularly in, I'm not talking just as in a person, but particularly in situations of tragedies, hard times, drama, how are they able to cope, how resilient they are. I guess that's like, is your resiliency more important than your happiness, or can your resiliency increase your chances of happiness rather than just wanting to increase chance of happiness and not being resilient whatsoever? So therefore your chances of happiness are actually kind of finite, or they're not brought about by you but actually at the whims of other people. So with resiliency or strength of character, in a particular instances of, say, issues, tragedies, things that happen in life, for me, I guess I would go with the resilience and strength of character, because with that you can roll with the punches, you can look on the bright side, you can change your circumstances and situation. Whereas if people are just constantly pursuing happiness, they're constantly just looking for, or trying to, or expecting just happiness to fall in their lap. I could be wrong. I've been wrong, but that's kind of my perspective. Some people continually just look for happy, but they are also resilient in that way. So there's a contradiction there. But there are others who don't focus on, seeing the bright side, seeing what they can make out of a bad situation. They just expect, things to happen, I guess. They leave it up to general whims and they don't do anything to help themselves. There's a difference between putting things out there and expecting and wanting and desiring and making things go away and doing nothing, and actually putting it out there and doing something about it, every little thing that helps to make your situation so much better, rather than just saying, someone else needs to do this for me. It's like, well, how about you take that first step? So I guess that's what I mean about the resiliency versus the pursuit of happiness. You can pursue happiness and be resilient as well, as I said, but how are you defining that? So how are you defining how you make yourself happy? Is it solely dependent on other people, or is it dependent on you, your frame of mind, where you're coming from, your context, or is it something that you're leaving up to other people? So that's a bit sort of sobering thought for a Thursday. It's a very lovely day, still bloody cold, but it's not as dry and windy. Well, kind of dry and windy in the afternoons, but it's not so bad. It still gets really cold in single digits and getting up to like high 20s, low 30s during the day. So still quite a large temperature difference. So keep warm, keep safe, keep healthy, guys, because this radical difference in temperatures will actually make sure that you're sick. Okay, I got a bit of a snuffle as well. That's not sick, I think that's just sinuses and the cold. Anyway, think about that. Strength of character. What does it mean to you? What does it mean for your future happiness? Do you only pursue your happiness, as in just pursue like just normal physical pleasures or whatever pleases you? Do you leave that up to other people, or do you actually actively, put it out there and say, hey, look, this is what I want for the future and I'm working towards that? That's the whole, I'll go into the Terminator here, no fate. There's no fate but what we make. So that's an interesting thought. I love movies. Catch you guys later. Anyway, I've rambled on enough. Have a good day. Love you guys. Bye.